Group dynamics refers to the attitudinal and behavioral characteristics of a group. Hi, myself Dr. Rita Singh Rathore, and today's topic is a group dynamics in organizational behavior. What's the complete meaning of group dynamics? Group means two or more people who interact with one another or psychologically aware of one another or perceive themselves to be the member of the group. And dynamics, what the meaning of the dynamics? When the team dynamics refers to the relationship and interactions between team members that can affect their productivity and performance, and it encompasses how team members communicate, collaborate and coordinate their efforts to achieve a shared goals. Now, what is the concept of the group behavior? Group behavior defines the way individuals are influenced by the thoughts, feelings and behavior of others in a group. And groups can also influence people's social behavior to fit in a particular group. This is known as a group conformity. Here also the group concepts include everything like roles, norms and the status affecting individuals' behavior within a group. And whereas a cohesion means majority in a group, it will enhance the unity, while the conformity examines members aligning with the group norms. And groupthink involves prioritizing harmony over critical thinking. So we need the special feature to enhance the quality of the group, whereas social identity shapes in a group favoritism. Leadership power and the communication pattern influences decision making and the group dynamics, and conflict resolution addresses the disputes. So these type of the main concepts are there in the group dynamics. To know about the stages of the group formation, we can go through the Tuckman's models. What it is? These stages are commonly known as the forming, storming, norming, performing and adjourning. And as a team, whereas it explained in this model that as the team develops maturity and ability relationships establish and leadership style changes to the more collaborative or the shared leadership, because this theory was relevant to these all five features. And the significance of this model is that it explains how a team maturity and the ability to develop the and relationship established as leadership style changes. And in this model gives us the understanding of how group develop. It is helpful in the training people for group work and the work up to their full potential, whereas a forming means members acquire and the established group goals, whereas a storming means a conflict arises as roles and the norms are established. Then the norming, cohesion develops and the norms stabilized. Then the performing, group functions effectively accomplishing tasks, whereas in the adjourning, group disbands after task completion, not always applicable. There are numerous types of the groups which differs from each other because of their size, purpose, membership criteria, formation, functioning, arrangement, etc. So various features are there in the types of group, whereas in the primary group, which are the small, intimate and long term like families or the close friendship. Whereas in the secondary group, those are the larger and task oriented, such as when we form this group in a work team. Then the reference groups, it influences the individual's attitude and behavior. Some more are there. In groups and out groups, it defines the social identity and the favoritism, whereas formal and informal groups are there. Those are based on the organizational structure or the personal connections, because the groups will be formed according to the size of the organization. Then the virtual groups, it interact primarily online communities or the remote work teams. Next are the types of the teams and why we form the teams. So teams are a specialized group in the group dynamics focused on the achieving specific goals. And multiple types of the teams we can form, like the functional teams. Functional teams are permanent and include members of the same department with the different responsibilities according to the expertise of the person. The next one is a cross-functional teams. It is a individuals form diverse areas collaboration. Like the functional teams are made up of the individuals from various departments according to their expertise. Then the self-managed teams. What are the self-managed teams? It is a autonomously makes decision Whereas teams are a specialized group in the group dynamics focused on the achieving a specific goal, as I said. So various types of the teams should be formed. Some more form of the teams are there, like the virtual teams. What is the meaning of the virtual team? It's operate remotely. They doesn't need to stay in the organization, and they're relying on technologies based. So online they are managing the work of the organization. Next part is the project teams. What they do? They are the temporary groups for a specific project. If some specific project is there in an organization, then they form it. Then the leadership teams focus on strategic decision making during the time of the final task. Then the problem solving teams are also there. If any consequences are there in an organization, if any conflicts are there in an organization, so they tackle the specific issues or the challenges in the organization on time. So once I explained you about the groups, then about the teams. So what is the difference amongst them? Here, groups are the collection of the individuals with shared interest, whereas teams are grouped with a common goal and the interdependent roles. Teams collaborate closely to achieve a specific task, emphasizing synergy and accountability. In group dynamics, teams typically have a more defined structure and the purpose compared to the general groups. So what's the real difference amongst them if we go in a very concluding way? So the teams are interdependent, working together to emphasize each other's strength and complete a common goal, whereas the group utilize individual strength to get work done and members focus on their own goal. And the simple difference is that a group may have a common purpose or interest, but individual members may have different goals and the objectives. A team has a shared purpose and specific goals that all members work together to achieve. Members may work independently and their actions may not directly affect to rely on each other. So this is the basic difference amongst the groups and the teams. What is a work group behavior? So what it is, first we need to know. So therefore group behavior in organizations tends to follow the organization's norms and the rules, wherein the employees are expected to be disciplined, follow orders and work to the requirements of the organization rather than their own whims and the fancies. And the group behavior is a very critical element at the workplace. We are social animals. We are bound to form and work in a group. In fact, an organization in itself is a large group where everyone is interdependent. Employee and the departments must interact with each other and collaborate to achieve the organization's goal, because in the absence of the collaboration, organization's goals could not be achieved. So work group behavior in the group dynamics refers to the how individual is a professional setting interact, collaborate and perform tasks. It encompasses communication, leadership and the conflict resolutions and adhere to the group norms, all of which impact productivity, job satisfaction and the achievements of the organization goals. Some factors are there which are affecting the group behavior. So which factors are there? Multiple factors are there, whereas we may take an example of attitude and the values. When you are amongst people with similar opinion and the belief, there are less friction and the more support. So this is the main. Then what is the size of your group, then what is the interdependency is there, then what is the turnover there, then what is the time and location. Everything depends. What is the status of your group, what is the manager's behavior. If the manager's behavior is not good, then group can't work effectively, and it's if it is a more difficult to join. So the group sources, group role, group cohesiveness, group structure, group norms and the group process, etc. These are the some factors which affects the group behavior. And a group member can have task role, maintenance role and the blocking role. Group process involves decision making and the communication, leadership and the conflict resolution. So these all features always affect the group behavior because it influenced by the factors such as these all features. So these factors collectively impact how individuals within a group interact, collaborate and achieve their objectives. Whereas the group is a very important form of the organization. So what are the main characteristics of the effective teams or the effective group? So what are the main qualities? Or the first thing is that an effective teams exhibits clear goals, open communication, your team needs to be able to openly communicate with one another with the ability to confidently share their thoughts, ideas and opinions with a wider team. Then the mutual trust is very important. If the all the members will not trust each other, it is very difficult to continue the work. Then the diverse type of the skills according to the organization's structure is required with each and every individual, and strong leadership should be there from the group leader. Because if the leader would not be strong, then the team can't work perfectly. Then the collaboration amongst all the members, trust amongst all the members, it is very important for the best output from the team. And adaptability is a feature that according to the circumstances, according to the situation, every organization, every group member should be very much adaptable to learn new things, new tactics, new skills according to the requirement of the work. And accountability feature should be there in everyone's personality, that whichever work is given, the person has to be responsible for, and a shared sense of the purpose. Because these all features makes the very strong group, a very strong team. They effectively solve the problems, like the how efficiently the group can solve the problem. So individual capability should be there in the team member, and how they make decisions and achieve their objectives while fostering a positive work environment and the individual's growth. Because if they work in that way, this will work very positively for the growth of the organization. These all specific qualities are there which are really essential in each and every team. Now, when the team is a very important part of the organization, so how you will form the team, how you will design a team. So design a successful team weekly, actively identify the clear objectives, select activities aligned with the team goals. Then you need to consider individuals' preference and the abilities. Need to create a safe and the inclusive environment, and the facilitate constructive reflections, and provide actionable takeaways for improved teamwork and the communication. Because from me to we, like it should be like the from me to we, and which build design principle to help structure conversation and get feedback early and often. It is very important for the proper execution of the work. Then select your tools wisely, which tools you will use to finish the task without wasting time, and gain perspective before building a process. So overall, it will give the positive feedback to the organization. It will, if your team is efficient, if all the features are there in your team, then you can reach to your goals, which will give the growth to the organization. We need to focus in the what are the main problems and the issues in the team buildings. So even if you'll go through the analysis, high performing organizations sometimes face challenges in the team building, but the problems often arise caused by the personality clashes, lack of trust, or the role confusion, and basically because of the lack of trust among each other. The task for the manager is to recognize these like the road bumps and get the team back to track. So it is very difficult amongst them that how to form them according to their characteristics. So the nature of the leadership is also a main part. So the nature of the leadership of the team along with the shared vision, the sense of the purpose. So we need to focus in these all points and how to form a good team for the best output. Because addressing these challenges requires thoughtful design and effective facilitation, and the ongoing evaluation of the ensure meaningful outcomes and the improved team dynamics. So to create a team building, it is a main part of the organization. Because if your team building is not good, if your team is not strong, it is not, goals are not clear with the team, and the planning is poor, and if the some other irrelevant activities are there in the team, then it is very difficult to get the benefit. Now, when we talk about the significances of the cross-functional teams, we need to know about that what is the main function of. So, cross-functional teams helps organization put their customers first. They give first privilege to the customers by encouraging effective communication across teams. They don't give the gaps amongst them, and the bringing people together with the different perspectives can improve problem solving and lead to smarter, more suitable decision making for each and everyone. And this can bring together multiple organizations or the departments or collaborate on a single project or the topic, because it can work to identify best practices for the different processes, then cross-train other cross-functional groups to promote cohesion and efficiency across amongst all the organization. Because this is a basic advantages of the cross-functional teams are that it will include the improved communication and the greater efficiency and the increased creativity. So however, the advantages include the potential conflict between the members and the difficulty reaching consciousness. So whereas the foster collaboration leading to the holistic solution, efficient decision making and the improved overall performance aligning with modern business demands. Now, the point is that what is the role of power, conflict in the group behavior and what is the role of politics also. So power, politics and conflicts are the three important and the vital pillars on the which the organization activity rests. They play an important factor in deciding the structure of the environment of a particular organization. They also differ with each other in terms of their manifestation in the organizational activities. But whereas when we go through the importance of it, so this is really very important of the power of the politics in the organizational behavior because this can range from setting rules and policies to deciding on the direction of the organization. It ensures order. Power creates a hierarchy or a structure that helps an organization function smoothly. But how does the power influence the behavior? Like we got influence in the ability to change how someone else thinks or behave based on persuasion. Unlike power with influence, you can't impact someone's action or behavior just by telling them to do something. If you hold actual power over someone, you can demand they do certain things or act in a very specific way. So these all things are impacting to the organization really too much. So that's why we need to focus in these all points for the welfare of the organization, for the growth of the organization, and for the positive environment in the organization. Negotiation is the process of discussing each individual's position on a topic and attempting to reach a solution that benefits both parties. So we often step in and negotiate when a conflict is taking place. But conflict doesn't have to exist for there to be an opportunity for negotiation. And negotiation is itself a very stressful thing because when individuals felt they lacked the negotiating skills and resources needed to perform well, they viewed the task as a threat and experienced stress. By contrast, those who believed they could meet or exceed the requirements of the task viewed it as a challenge and kept their stress level in check. So overall, both the things are not good. Like the negotiation in the group here involved reaching agreement on the conflicting interest, impacting decision making and the cohesion. And stress can arise from conflict or the high pressure situation. So affecting communication and teamwork, properly managed negotiations can mitigate stress, leading to the effective problem solving and strengthening group bonds. Though both the things are not good for the organization. So now we are over the concluding the topic about the group dynamics. We discussed so many features over there because the group dynamics it can be used as a means for the problem solving, for the teamwork and to become more innovative and the productive as an organization. So basic concept of the group dynamics will also provide you with the strengths, success factors and measures along with the other professional tools also. And it is very beneficial because the strong team dynamics produce a higher quality results and solve problem faster. And this is a result of having a diversity of the knowledge and experience, resulting in the better customer service and the faster response times. So within the each team, critical element surfaces that allows the team to thrive. So overall, the understanding and managing group dynamics is essential for the success in various social and the organizational contexts.